Hey, what's up, guys? Hewitt Tomlin here with Team Builder. I just got back from SummerStrong yesterday. It was actually my first SummerStrong ever. A lot of people had been obviously talking about it, posting about it, telling me to go. And I just decided, hey, enough's enough. I'm going to go ahead and go to this thing and kind of see what it was all about. So this is my review on SummerStrong. I'm not going to go ahead and explain the whole thing because ultimately you have to be there to really kind of get the whole experience. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought about it, some things that really stood out to me that are unique to this industry. But the first thing I kind of noticed about all of SummerStrong is the Sorinex building is just freaking awesome. So Richard and Bert Soren have built something that's just incredible. And obviously, as a fellow business owner in the industry, I saw what they had built and I was like, dude, this is the gold standard. This is an awesome building. The history that's there, the decades of work they put into it. I saw it and I was like, man, this is a model. This is what people aspire to build, not just in the strength and conditioning industry, but any industry at all. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. That was the first thing that I noticed when I walked up to that facility. Secondly, this event is unique and it's unlike anything else. If anyone's been to an NSCA or a CSCCA, not to take anything away from those organizations, but once you've been to one, you've kind of been to all of them. I mean, they're not unique like the SummerStrong is. SummerStrong just has a different vibe. The setup is different, just in the excitement that people have to be there from front to finish. Everything is awesome. Everyone's all in on everything on the schedule, right? And I thought that was just really cool. And it was refreshing for me to go to something that was an event, like a gathering, but not like the other ones. The speakers are very raw. If you're looking for a PowerPoint presentation, this is not what you're going to get. Most of the speakers didn't even present anything on their screen at all. I mean, they just talked and they spoke from the heart. And it was like that for the most part. Some people spoke on strength and conditioning technically, and some people had presentations that had performance kind of built into it. But for the most part, you're not there to do that. You're not there to talk X's and O's. You're there to basically have an experience, to kind of have a personal experience just based on what the speakers are saying. And like I mentioned, I'm not going to get into details about what these people said because you had to be there to kind of get that. I can't replicate that for anyone. And if you want that in the future, you're going to have to go. One other thing I'll say is that about the speakers is I didn't necessarily, agree with every single speaker, and I'm sure other people there didn't as well. But I actually appreciated that there was a mix of perspective. If you go to a conference or anything and you agree with every single thing people say, then you didn't get better. You didn't get challenged. You're not challenging yourself. So I actually appreciated when people got up there and, I was able to kind of say, well, that's, not really how I thought about that or think about that. I can kind of have that kind of mental exercise, if you will. The first day, so I went Friday. The first day was actually 8 speakers in a row. So that's kind of a lot. But when I look back at it, there wasn't a minute in the day in that entire conference that I wasn't into. I never wanted to leave. I never wanted to take a break. You kind of squeeze every minute out of this thing. So in terms of bang for your buck, I mean, it's worth every penny. I mean, people would pay a lot more to kind of get that experience. I think people showed up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. to get a workout in, and people don't leave till midnight or later. I mean, and that's both nights, both days. So how often can you say you're out of place for that long and love every minute of it? That's exactly what this was, just because of the variety of the speakers and what they let you do. I mean, you can lift at any time. There's people lifting all the time outside or inside or wherever. Sorinex just kind of opens up the place for everyone, and everyone there is respectful. And that kind of brings me to my second point. It's a pretty easygoing place. You don't network. No one's there to network. You don't go and try to hand out business cards. People are there just to talk and have relationships. I think I spoke to maybe half the speakers at some point in time, and it wasn't like I had to go track them down in a speaker's lounge or anything like that. They're just out there having a beer with you, or they could be sitting at your table. Jen Widerstrom, is crazy famous in the fitness industry. She just kind of came to our table and asked if she could sit with us to eat lunch. I was like, this is crazy. So it is different in that regard. Now you're not going to show up and make 1,000 friends, but You have to kind of put a little effort in to introduce yourself and do it, but it's really easy to do. I mean, it's really a community, and if you show up, you're in that community. They accept you, and it's a good experience from that standpoint. So I want to let everyone know about that. So the second day is also a lineup of speakers, but they also have what they call open times. Open times is where you can lift, where you can just hang out, do your stuff, and what I found in retrospect is that was gold. That's where you can really track down the people you wanted to talk to. That's where you met people. That's where you got your lift in with people that you just met 5 minutes before. You just happened to be next to each other and wanting to do a little bit of training, which was sweet. So I'm glad that they did that. They didn't necessarily schedule out every activity for you. They kind of said, hey, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, have at it. And I thought that was really, really cool. So the last thing I'll say is that, some of these speakers really opened up. I mean, a lot of people cried. It was the kind of thing where, like, when someone was done, everyone clapped, and the clapping didn't end. It was like really, in a way, kind of shell-shocking to hear like how much these speakers would open up about some of these things. But that also opened everyone else up to be open with each other. So I was part of conversations where people really, talked, really openly about really personal things, and it was relieving for everyone because everyone was kind of on that same frequency. So that brings to mind, Team Builder wasn't not a sponsor of this, and currently not a sponsor of Sorinex or any of their events. But I talked to other people from different companies and even one competitor, and it was crazy professional, and just like all that stuff was kind of set to the side. Like there was none of those things that you might see at other conferences where the vendors are, kind of keeping eyes or tabs on one another. I even had a great conversation with someone who is a direct competitor of ours. And I thought to myself, man, I genuinely like this person, and it's crazy that we can be here and have this kind of conversation with one another. And obviously, SummerStrong was like the platform for that to happen. I was just amazed that that was the case. Yeah, so that's kind of my wrap up. Again, the last thing I have written down here is that I wasn't going to make an attempt to try to replicate the experience or truly communicate what it was like to be there. For one, that doesn't do it justice, and secondly, I just want to encourage more people to go to this. I think even though it's my first one, I'll probably be back every summer as long as I can make it, just because of how unique it is relative to the other events put on in our industry.